Hello guys, Maxie here. So today I'm gonna show you one thing that we can do in Resident Evil 4 using cheat engine, which is walk through wall script. So yes, first prepare your cheat engine and the game, which is Resident Evil 4 from Steam. So yeah, new game, normal.
Resident Evil 4.
And yeah, another thing. One sec.
1998.
Okay. Another thing to note is that go to edit settings, make sure you put hotkeys for like change and unchange, because it will be easier for us to find stuff after this. And as example, I use this hotkey for change and this hotkey for example for unchanged. Sorry. I mean, you can put whatever hotkeys do you want, that it's easier for you to do change and unchange scan types. So first, let's hook to the game, which is Bio 4. Yes, I just leave this. Okay. So how do we do a walk through wall script? So first, go to value type, change it to float. I mean, from what I tested multiple times, so I already know that the value type is float. And change the scan type to unknown initial values. Okay, first scan, okay, we already see 132,000 millions, 132 million results. So let's just try to go someplace, and then let's just try to walk through the invisible walls. And while we're walking or moving towards the walking towards the invisible wall, do a change scan type. And while we're still moving towards the invisible wall, try to do an unchanged invisible wall, and then we back off a bit, we do change and then unchange and move someplace else where we're not touching the invisible wall. Do unchange, 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 unchange. Move the camera a bit, yeah, because we don't want any camera stuff to interfere with it. And then yeah, move a bit, unchange, 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 because we're not touching the invisible wall. Unchange, 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 yeah, unchange, unchange, then change and then unchange, back off a bit. Okay, now we already see that there is basically, I don't know, two addresses, and I already know that it's not becoming negative, so basically it's only positive. So probably this one, and right click this one and find out what accesses the address. Yes, attach the debugger to it. Okay, the first instruction that we see is basically FSTP dword pointer, which is the instruction actually moves something into the float value. And yeah, we can say right now is actually constantly accessing the address. And let's just leave this window open, don't stop it, don't do anything, just leave it open in the background and try to, okay, it doesn't do any other instructions, it is not accessed by any other instructions. But what happens when we touch the invisible wall? Okay, now we see that there are a few or multiple instructions that are accessing the same value, which is this one, the move ECX plus 08 EAX. And there are these other fmal, FSTP. I already tested each and every single fmal stuff before, and what I noticed is that when you try to change any of this stuff, it's basically changing stuff related to graphical design, textures. So yeah, the one that we want to do is walk through walls, but from what I tested in, it's not, and it's not in any of this fmal fstp stuff. So we know that we only have move ECX plus 08 EAX. So let's just go to disassembler and then look at the instruction. Okay, now I already know that when I try to knob this, it doesn't do anything. Like literally it doesn't do anything. Like if I try to replace with code that does nothing. Okay, let's just try to see, it doesn't do anything, because yeah, because we already set it to nothing and nothing happens. So how can we find the walk through wall script if we cannot even find anything when we knob it? So restore it to the original one, and let's try another stuff. What about going to the beginning of the function and try to make it red? So basically when anything calls the function, it basically tells us, okay, we're gonna return the function, we're gonna return the call to this original one. So it doesn't touch any of this stuff in this function. That's what red means. Basically it calls return. So when anything tries to use this function, we basically like, no, you cannot do this function, you cannot access any of this function, you cannot access any of this function because we already say red. Okay, go back. So yeah, so now we notice that the bytes is 55. Take note of this. Push EBP, the opcode. Okay, let's just try to change it to red. And from what we notice in game, we see that the game lags a bit. But what happens when you try to touch the invisible wall? Okay, now you're saying that the character jumps back a bit because it knows that we're trying to go through the invisible wall, but we cannot do that because it's not supposed to be accessible. So let's just restore it to the original one, which is push EBP 55, and we see another instruction that pops up when we actually read the function. So this must be something new, I guess. Let's just go to disassembler and show. Okay, I even tried to knob this stuff and it doesn't do anything. Okay, if you want to see it, okay, let's just try to knob this stuff. See, it doesn't do anything at all. So it's the same thing as before. So what do we do again? We go back and we return the instruction to the original instruction and right click, select current function. Let's just try to do it again. Read the function and see what happens. Oh, it's now working. So basically we already got our walk through wall script. You think so? Yeah, I think so, because yeah, I mean we cannot do that before, but now we can. So I think it's finished. Yes, I think it's finished. I mean we can go even pass through all the cars, and we can still talk to the people, and yeah, you can, I don't know, you can still go through bridges, but at the same time you can still walk through walls. Okay, let's just return this to the original one and try to go to the invisible wall. See, it returns back to normal. So we know that when we read this function, it completely sets it back to normal. So what do we do with it? Go to tools, auto-assemble, template, AUB injection. Okay, let's check it first. Let's just type in walk through. Okay, the template is okay, but we see something, which is error, could not find unique AOB, try code, stuff like that. I mean, I could try to change stuff like adding a few more bytes. I mean, yeah, we can do that basically, but we know that this game isn't updated for a long time. I mean you won't see any new updates for this game, so I guess we can just use template full injection. Yeah, and we don't need this. I mean, if you want to keep it, yeah, you can do that. I don't need this. So right now we just want to change push EBP to red. So basically we just want to change this one byte into red, which is C3. So what do we do then? We only need this one literally. So this is the original bytes, and we only need to take this one because we want to change only this one. So just write it. What's the byte? Okay, 55. So let's just type in 55. I think I don't need this. And the alloc new mem, yes, we don't need any allocations or deallocations of the memory because we don't need to jump it. We don't need to jump to any of the places because we literally changing the bytes, and we gonna restore it afterwards when we disable it. So copy this, and yeah, stop. I mean take all of that from after assert to return, I guess, because assert is important so that it checks if the address in this one. So basically when we define the address to be this one, and when we define the bytes to be this one, assert will actually check if the address has the same bytes. So if it's not, it won't execute the code below in this one. So let's just leave assert here, and we want to change 55, which is push EBP, to C3, which means red. I guess that's it. Yeah, file, let's go to files, assign to current cheat table. I mean you can already stop this. Let's just name it walk through walls test. Okay, before we enable it, let's try to go to invisible wall to see that everything's back, everything's going to normal. Okay, and enable our instruction, enable and disable it. Always try to toggle it so that we can confirm that we can disable it afterwards. And then check at the memory viewer, so we can see that it's the correct instruction or opcode that we're changing, and it's not other instruction that we're changing. Okay, it's enabled, it changes to red. Okay, let's just try to go past through it. Okay, it works. And what about going up to the stairs? I mean, we already walked through walls, so who knows that it might go past through stairs, which we don't want that, because we want to go upstairs. Like when we want to go upstairs, we should have to see, I mean we should how do I say this? When we go up through the stairs, we should be able to go upstairs and not basically passing through it. So let's try it when we still having the walk through wall script enabled. Oh, okay, we can go up and down from the stairs. So everything that is not, I mean everything works well, and at the same time we can walk through inaccessible places as well. And it's a good thing, because sometimes when you do this kind of scripts, it affects the original I don't know, like when we try to make a walkthrough script, it affects the level of the x coordinate and stuff, so that when you try to go upstairs, which you should be able to, you can't, because it overrides with the it walks past it, which we don't want to. But in this case, everything works well. So now I can walk through past the invisible walls. And let's just try to disable it and see if it goes back to normal. Yeah, it goes back to normal. And okay, let's just try to enable this and go past the invisible walls and disable it. Okay, so what happens? Okay, yeah, we can still go past through walls, but once we go outside of the inaccessible locations, okay, we can see that it jumps a bit, it jumps the character a bit, and then when we try to go to the collision or the invisible walls, we cannot go past through it. So it doesn't affect the game in any way because it automatically optimizes it so that it will properly work. So I guess, yeah, that's it. That's how it is on how to make a walk through wall script for Resident Evil 4. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know how many times to have I said that's it. Yeah, you can close this, all of this, and you already have the script. So yeah, feel free to share this to your friends. And another thing to say about making walk through walls stuff, I mean, some games you can do it as easily as this one, while some other games it takes a long time to find the values and it takes a long time to scan. So you have to be precise on doing scans like this, so that once you do one mistake, you have to repeat it all over again. And that's one of the most painful things that you can ever do when using cheat engine, for example. So I guess that's it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this video to your friends, and as always, see you guys next time. Peace.